Welcome back to the Buds in the Box podcast. The Leafs win 6-2 against the Seattle Kraken in the Climate Pledge Arena. A Valentine's Day special and 400 points for Marner. Does it get any better than that? I don't think so. If you have a loved one today, make sure to acknowledge them. Actually, well, this is going tomorrow, so no one really gives a shit. If you have a loved one, don't care about them, please. And yeah, the Leafs win. Do you guys have any initial thoughts on the games? No?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
no initial thoughts.
Well, Jack Campbell played pretty well tonight. I think an easy game for the Leafs. I just went over the highlights, and the Seattle Kraken are dog shit. They suck. I don't know how else to say it. Lots of turnovers from them. We'll get into the game. A few things that I want to mention before the game, though. Make sure you guys go check out our sponsors down below. Use code BUDS20 for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and at thepeoplescup.ca. So make sure you guys go check that out. Trade Holl, where I want to make a video on this because I've been so supportive of Holl, and you guys have shit on him, and I was like, no, Holl is good, but no, trade Holl because I'm literally sick of his shit. I fucking hate him. And yeah, Jack Campbell finds his form again. Do you guys have any thoughts on Holl?
Sucks.
Yeah, he's so like subpar.
He looks so shaky now. It's like
He honestly just like, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do enough good things to make up for all the bad things he does. Basically, that's the best way to put it, I think. He never he never like does enough of, he never makes enough of an impact on the game in a good way as he does in a bad way. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So, he's not worth being, like, he's just not worth being out there. He's a liability for most of the time.
I think just Holl is slowly becoming like the scapegoat for the Leafs because they always have one, and it's just like it just becomes clear and clear every game. I think now that you've identified the scapegoat, I think there's no way to ever get rid of it. With the Leafs media, the Leafs fans, even us, we're just bullying the fuck out of him right now, and I don't think he gives a fuck, but we're doing it anyway. And there's always gonna be a scapegoat no matter what. There's always gonna be one player that makes a mistake. There was Jake Gardner. There was who else was there?
Marner got scapegoated last year.
Marner was a scapegoat last year. Yeah, that was the big topic of last year. Whatever. Then Babcock was a scapegoat.
Anderson.
Toskala.
Toskala. Well, that was a different era of Leafs.
Yeah.
But in the new era, there's always been that scapegoat, and I think you just have to trade away that scapegoat. Like, you have to completely get rid of it, try and eliminate it, bring in someone good. I know they've been looking at Manson. They've been looking at a few guys. Luke Schenn played amazing against the Leafs on the Vancouver Canucks.
Pleading his case.
He just gets a lot of hits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we might need that because, I mean, we're going to get into the game here, but yeah, I'm just going to get into it so that I can express my hatred for Holl. Alex Kerfoot scores in the first period. Good goal by Alex Kerfoot, just a snipe. Yeah. And we got Grubauer pulled in 3 goals against. Seattle Kraken, brutal. Then Yarncroke scores. I'm gonna give you guys a guess, okay, on who turns the puck over for this goal. Go ahead.
Bustin' Gall.
Well, Justin Holl turns it over, and then the Leafs luck just hits us, and Nylander goes to rim it around to the defenseman who's changing. So that was a bad play from him to begin with, and then the ref doesn't know how to lift his leg and move out of the way from the puck. So it hits the ref, goes out to a 2-on-1 fast break from the bottom of the circle on Tavares, and whoever just passes it to Calle Yarncroke, and he just rips it by him. I mean, that was just Leafs luck. Like, that was just, why is Tavares defending a 2-on-1 below the ringette line, if you guys know where that is?
Yeah, I actually watched the ringette game.
Nice.
Yeah,
interesting.
It was pretty good.
Did you do a podcast on it?
Yeah, actually, I'm starting a new podcast series called Buds in the Ring.
Nice.
I
like it.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is also that Muzzin has to play with Holl, And Muzzin's like usually pretty solid, but he just looks so bad recently. Partially because Holl makes him look bad because he turns the puck over and he has to defend 2-on-1s all the time, or like, but he's also just looks bad himself. Like I found Muzzin to be so below average recently.
I haven't even heard of him in like the past like 10 games.
He just stumbles, like he falls around, like he loses puck battles. It's just like he's not really making an impact on that deep pairing when they're on the ice is such a liability. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You just can't have that.
Yeah,
and Sandin and Liljegren look amazing together.
Mm-hmm.
Like they look great. They're just fast and they move the puck really well and they could handle their own in the defensive end. So like they're the second pairing in my eyes, not Holland and Muzzin.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's crazy to think that like, you know, you could look probably right before Sandin broke out last season. If we were talking about this exact topic, we'd be like, Sandin and Liljegren better than Holl and Muzzin. Yeah, right. Like you're out of your mind. But here we are a year and a half later, and look at what we're talking about now, which is crazy. I think as well. I mean, Jude, you're a goalie. You know, your defense has such a big impact on like your goalie. Like Jack Campbell, the second Holl starts to just plummet and the defense starts to go down the drain, Campbell's stats just start going down the drain. Like it can't be a coincidence.
Yeah, 100%. That's funny that you mentioned it because I was just thinking about something. We have this one defenseman on my team that has scored both the overtime goals and my overtime wins, which is funny. You think like why not a forward or somebody? But yeah, in the 3-on-3, a defenseman scored both goals. And I find that was one of his best. Both of those games were insane that he played. And then the other night he was like, okay. And I found that the whole team, I think he like brings something. He's not like a talkative guy, but just the way he handles the puck, the way he moves the puck up ice, like it just changes the way like I feel with confidence. Like I know that he's got that back door. I don't need to worry about that. I need to stop that first shot because I know he's got me kind of thing, right? And I feel like Campbell doesn't trust that. And you know, he can't always trust that his defenseman has the backdoor play, or that if he does make the first shot, that they're going to help him out with the second. So he's always got that kind of like devil on his shoulder saying that to him, right? Oh, well, what if this squeaks out or something like that? You got AHL elite low Justin Holl, right?
Not AHL top 6.
But yeah, I definitely think defense is huge, and yeah, we definitely got to figure it out with Holl there.
Couldn't agree more. Well said. But moving on to the first period, like I said many times for this podcast, Seattle, they blow. A very easy goal by Michael Bunting.
Munting?
Michael Bunting. And yeah, he kind of just like Matthews and Marner did a great job fighting for the puck. Pops out in front, and I don't know. I guess he just kind of backhanded it, and it tipped off someone. Just went through Grubauer. Yeah. One he'd definitely like to have back, that's for sure. And then a perfect. I was watching this back. This was an amazing play by on the power play. It was just pass. This is a second power play unit. Spezza gets it to Bunting in front of the net. Bunting just puts it towards the net, getting pucks towards the net. Kase tips it, and it goes right in. So a perfect tic-tac-toe play for the Leafs. Second power play unit, killing it. And they continued as in the second period, Marner got a power play goal. Now, I'm not going to praise the Leafs for this one because this was an absolute shit play by the Kraken. It was a rebound in front and a defender. I don't remember who it was, but they just went to clear it. And they just passed it right to his stick for an empty net goal. Easy goal for Marner. And he's been hot lately, and he's just been right place, right time. I don't know if you guys want to talk more about Marner.
I don't know what The Rock has to say, but
he's been hot lately.
Oh my god!
No, but I do find him shooting more on that power play. I don't know, like Felly said, Felly's preached this since the start of the podcast. Is once Marner's that like scary shooting threat, we're like, that's a terrifying power play, right? Because he's obviously a playmaking threat. He's always going to be. And then he had a shot that went off Grubauer's knob, so it pretty much beat Grubauer. He just has a longer stick than expected or whatever, right? So it's just like he is a shooting threat. He's now a scoring threat, and he's proved it, and he keeps proving it. And somehow Alexiak passes it to Marner, and the Leafs still get the assist for it, even though he literally gave it to Marner. But
I was actually listening to the 590 AM 590 radio station in the car today during the game in between the second and third period, and they were talking about, oh, Marner hit his 400th career point, and how he's honestly, as like highly rated as he is, he's still underrated. Somehow, because he's overshadowed by Matthews. So like, even though he's in his draft class, there's only one guy who has more points than him in his career, and it's McDavid. So I mean, he's the 4th overall pick. Like, he did, he's doing better than the 2nd and 3rd pick, right? And then everyone else in the draft class, in that crazy draft class, that's Aho, Besser, all those guys, like Barzal, right? All those guys in that draft class. So
you're leaving out 3 key players. You forgot about Zaboral, Zenshin, and DeBrusk.
Sorry. So yeah, all the Boston guys. That's my bad. No, but like, so he's just been like kind of overshadowed. And then they were I don't want to bring it up because it's like a whole nother story, but they were all like, the guy who was talking on the radio, he was like, oh, and only one guy, a future Leaf, actually has more points than him from that draft class.
Was he talking about McDavid?
He's saying McDavid's gonna be on the Leafs in the future. I'm like, yeah, I hope so. And he's like, I guess he's a Leaf fan or whatever. He's like, I just want to speak it into existence. Like, I believe in that. Hopefully I can speak it into existence.
That's hilarious.
Hey, I've got that on lock, that theory, because Tavares' contract ends that same year, and that's just money. And then McDavid, Leafs, McDavid, Matthews.
Well, I mean, it's possible. Like, if he doesn't win a cup in Edmonton and they treat him like garbage.
Well, he's already upset there. So is Draisaitl. Draisaitl's going to be
Draisaitl's pissy.
Yeah, he's pissy, Leon. Draisaitl's going to be gone. Anyway, that's a whole nother like podcast, but I wanted to, just saying, like, Marner gets kind of overshadowed by Matthews, and he would be the best player on almost any other team in the NHL. He would be the number one best player, but just like, Matthews there. Tavares has had a really good career, so like all the spotlight gets kind of taken off Marner. But
well, speaking of the devil, just scored.
I was about to say that.
Who?
McDavid.
Oh yeah, no, and what else did he said? This radio, they were like, Marner is actually one of the best defensive forwards in the NHL. Also, no one realizes it. No one thinks about it, but like, they give the Selke to a centerman every year. But if like wingers were more in the conversation of the Selke trophy, Marner would be a top candidate. Come on, like, he's so good defensively.
Yeah.
Right, he kills every penalty. He's got shorthanded goals. He's got shorthanded assists. He blocks shots. He gets like dirty in the defensive zone. Like, but they just will give it to a centerman every year. But
yeah, and it's crazy to think that you have Marner, who, you're right, he is a great defensive player. And that was perfectly put on display today when he got that amazing assist on his breakaway to Kampf. I mean, the Leafs have one of the best penalty killer players in the league. You have Kampf, Kase, you have Mikheyev, and then out of all those guys, you put Marner there. He's one of the best offensive playmakers in the league, and then he's also good defensively. And yeah, you're right. They do give it to a center, and Matthews is actually, like, when you think about it, Matthews is number 1 in Selke right now, like, in the power rankings.
Is he?
He's the favorite to win it. So you have like 2 of the top defensive forwards. Like, they're great at offense and obviously great at defense too, as we can see. And if Matthews win the Selke,
that's the thing. You wouldn't think about Matthews winning the Selke trophy. You'd think about him winning the Rocket Richard or like the scoring awards, right? But you don't think of him as much of a defensive player because he just leads the league in goals every year. or he's top 3 in goals every year. So you don't think of him like that, but that just shows you how valuable Matthews really is. Even compared to McDavid, like obviously McDavid's better. Okay, obviously McDavid's the best player in the world. But if you're comparing, right, like McDavid just gets those more points. But a comparison that a lot of people do is Matthews or Draisaitl, right? And it's like Draisaitl's invisible defensively.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about Matthews as a Selke contender, that's a no question. Matthews is more valuable. Like obviously I'm biased. Like look, I got his jersey right here, but like just looking from the outside, like even if I was just looking from the outside, I wasn't even a Leaf fan. You got to think like Matthews is just more valuable than Draisaitl. He's just better all around. So
yeah, I was about to say something, but I forgot. It was about Matthews, but whatever. We'll move on. I'll hopefully I'll think about it. But yeah, like we were mentioning, Marner, amazing on the penalty kill. Excuse me. He was on a breakaway, kind of slowed down, let McCann speed up to him, cut to the left, and then pulled it back, gave it right to Kampf, and Kampf scored a shorthanded goal. Leafs are unbelievable shorthanded. The fact that they even got a break, like they get so many breakaways, it's crazy. But I mean, the fact like when you look, they almost have they score in the power play twice, then you get a shorthanded goal. Like special teams is unreal. I think there is a stat that shows that they do have the best special teams in the league. Both like if you combine both together. And I just remembered my point about Matthews. I saw a stat the other day. Matthews has 100% WAR, which is like
I saw that.
What?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
I didn't think it was, but that just like I mean I bet you if we said this on like a Facebook post or like even in the YouTube, like we're making an argument about this, there's gonna be people like, oh no way, Matthews is like a defensive player. But like there is like real stats to prove this. Like he has 100% WAR.
The thing is, if you just like know Matt, if you're just an NHL fan, let's say you're a Anaheim fan, okay, you just be like, oh, I know who Austin Matthews is. Yeah, he like always leads the league in goals. Like he just scores. He's a goal scorer, right? You think of him like he's kind of like the coming up Ovechkin sort of thing, right? Goal scorer, goal scoring forward. But if you actually watch the Leafs on a nightly basis like we do, you see that he's not really on for goals against. He's always making smart plays in his own end. You don't want to see him block shots because he's a superstar. I don't want to see him block shots, but like,
And he got that one weird today.
He makes nice like outlet passes. He's always supporting his wingers. He's always supporting his defensemen. If you really watch him game in, game out, you'd be like, yeah, that guy could be a Selke contender. But anyways.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And goes back to the point that why is Jack Campbell having a great season this year? Because they're playing better defensively. That's just a fact. If they weren't playing better defensively previously, you look at Frederik Andersen when he goes to a team that has one of the best defensive cores in the league, obviously he's going to do well because they're getting shitty shots and the save percentage looks pretty.
Because a lot of goalies would do well in that scenario.
Peter Mrazek did.
Look at Mrazek. Yeah, Mrazek plays for Carolina. He's unreal.
Nedeljkovic did. Now look where he is.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see that.
We could throw you in that. You do okay.
we could legitimately probably throw Jude in that. He'd do okay in Carolina.
Seriously.
Against Arizona.
Yeah. Well, they gave Campbell a run for their money, so who knows?
Clayton Keller.
The Zingleberries. Get 2 goals.
Yeah, he did. 2-1 game.
That's when Felly threw my TV out my window. With no remorse. And his body after it.
Remember when I said if the Leafs don't score within the next 5 minutes, I was gonna punch the TV or something?
Yeah, I remember the actual thing you said, but I'm not gonna bring that up.
What did I say?
I just remember a fake gun being held to us.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. He did say that.
Oh God.
Yeah, okay, moving on. Jared McCann scores a power play goal. It's whatever. Campbell should have had it. Yeah, X Leaf. Yeah, we should get a Jared McCann jersey. I should get Jared McCann on the back of that jersey.
Yeah, you should.
It was just a trickler. Campbell couldn't get to it in time. I'm gonna let you guys.
Sorry. So I thought I saw a bug.
Oh, sounded like a fart noise when he did it too.
Sorry.
I'm gonna let you guys guess who got the penalty for that goal.
Justin Holl?
Yes.
You mean Gustin Gall?
Elston L. Lol.
Lustin Lol?
Yes, Lustin Lol.
Well, I mean, it was a moving screen in front of him. And then I thought he had it. And then I thought Brody came in to save the day. And it was just not good luck for us. The first freaking flipping goal.
Oh.
We just need our luck to come in both of you.
Okay. On the Justin Holt subject, Leaf trade deadline topic, trade for a right-handed defenseman is what everyone's gonna say, right? That being said, the Leafs should not be trading for rental players, in my eyes. Luke Shan, no, thank you. The guy's 34 years old. We don't need someone like that. It's the rental players. They're gonna give up a first-round pick. It's evident. Dubas loves giving away his first-round picks. He loves it. And if you get a guy like Luke Shen or even Manson, who I think is a free agent next year, it's just a rental player and they're older. It doesn't really do us any good for even the next 2-3 years. You may because the issue is this was the talk last trade deadline, right? Now it's the talk this trade deadline. If you get a rental player, it's the talk next trade deadline too. So why not trade for a younger right-handed defenseman who can be on the team for the next 2-3 years and you don't have to worry about it at the next trade deadline and the next one, right? Because let's be honest, the Leafs aren't winning this year. I have to say that. They're just not. I really don't believe that they are. They have to get past the first round before they can worry about winning a cup.
Yeah.
Okay. So that being said, I would love to see them win a cup. Obviously, I obviously would. And I'm not saying I don't want them to. I'm saying it's a long shot this year. So trade for someone younger, someone who can be on the team for the next 2-3 years when Matthews and Marner are entering their prime, Nylander's entering his prime, Riley's on his long contract. They're just going to have a super good core. And Kasha's on another year. Kampf is on a 2-year, right? Simmons is on a 2-year. So they've got their guys set in stone. They could win this year, obviously, but trade for someone.
There's always a chance if you make the playoffs.
Just trade for someone who can help longer term.
Yeah.
Nick Foligno for a first round pick. Come on. The team last year was not they were definitely a contender, but
Artem Zub.
Do you see them beating Vegas? Right? Zub would be the worst thing. Oh God.
Well, I have to agree with you there. I mean, I think Dubas has to look at this trade deadline and be okay, what did I do last year? I got depth on forward with Foligno. I got depth on defense with Hutton, and I got depth on goalie with Riddick. Foligno didn't work out, crazily didn't work out.
Oh,
and you lost a first round pick for that. He was injured most of the time, and when he was on the ice, he was shit. Ben Hutton played one game and did not provide anything for the Leafs. He was just there in case someone got injured, which only Tavares did. And Riddick, who when he did play for the Leafs, he was god awful.
In the regular season, he was okay.
Yeah. And he didn't even get a chance in the playoffs.
And then on top of that, we don't need an extra goalie. We have Wall. So if anything happens, we have Wall. I trust him. So as much as I trust Riddick in the playoffs. So
yeah, and at the point we get to use Wall, is the point where the Avalanche had to use Hutchinson.
Yeah,
and Hutchinson came up clutch for them, even though they didn't win. He played really well. So Hutchinson, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jude, any thoughts about the trade deadline before we wrap it up?
No. I mean, Felly put it well. We don't really need. Actually, I don't. Yeah, Felly said that, right?
What?
No, I would just just to help him out. I would just I don't want to see them trade for Luke Shen or someone like that, an old guy who's maybe gonna help in a playoff run.
Yeah, Bogo.
But that's what a lot of people want. So I don't know. I'd rather trade for a little bit of a younger guy.
Yeah.
Philly doesn't want to really see a rental, and I just think, you said it, Eric, about like going through the players, yeah,
Yeah.
going through so like, we don't really need that goaltending position at all. So scratch that off, right? We don't need a rental goalie. We don't need a rental player. So like in those terms, we literally just look at somebody to replace Holl, like all in, chips in, freaking get rid of Holl somehow before
I mean,
the playoffs.
you can even trade Holl and Dermott for someone,
Yeah,
a top 4.
yeah.
Rasmus. The two of them together, Ristolainen,
No.
Rasmus
Anderson,
No.
Rasmus Dahlin.
That'd be awesome. He's good.
Yeah, for those two, no way.
I think I gotta agree with you guys there. If you're gonna get a rental player, if you get a rental player, you got to get a good one. You got to get a really good one. None of this 7th defenseman bullshit. Top 6 old captain. Like you need a solidified top 4 defenseman to replace Holl if that's what you're gonna do.
Did Foligno get re-injured in warm-ups in the playoffs?
Otherwise,
he slipped on a puck or some shit.
Don't change what's not broken.
Yeah.
The Leafs are doing well. They're playing fine. Holl's a liability, but the team has good chemistry right now, right? Unless you can actually upgrade, don't do anything,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think 300 WAR.
Matthews is getting close. But yeah, he has to slow down and not make stupid decisions, because we all saw it even in that all or nothing series. Like he was just like, they're like, oh, we want Foligno. First round? Sure. Have my first round pick.
Yeah, you saw it. Shanahan was like, did he just give away the first round pick? And Dubas was just like trying to give it away.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even rebuttal it.
Yeah.
I swear GMs just walk all over Dubas.
Dude, it's that Spima degree.
I don't know, man. Whatever it is, he's made some weird moves, but whatever. We'll see. He's got to fix what he did. The thing is, though, I'm saying that Dubas is not thinking that. If they lose in the first round this year, he gets fired.
Oh, 100%.
So a rental player might be what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Because he honestly doesn't care. He wants a first round win, or else he loses his job. So
yeah. Okay. Well, we'll make a video closer to the deadline. I want to make a video on Holl, and I want to make a video on the deadline for sure.
Yeah.
Those are our most popular videos, like last year. So we'll definitely be making some of those. Jack Campbell had a good night. Marner had a good night. Matthews had a good night. Everyone had a good night. Even Muzzin, he scored a goal. We forgot to mention that. Holl, fuck Holl. Anyway, we'll wrap this up here. Thank you guys for watching or listening to the Buds in the Box podcast. If you're on Spotify, make sure you drop a follow. If you are on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We appreciate you guys listening. And if you made it to the end, appreciate you more. This has been the Buds in the Box podcast. Leafs win. Bye for now.